Hey Bills Mafia, happy Women's History Month. Maddy Glab here alongside of Katie Sturino, an entrepreneur, author, and body acceptance advocate. She's the founder of Megababe, which is an innovative beauty brand that allows people to feel more comfortable and confident in their own skin. She really does it all. But we want to start with the Bills because that's how we are coming together. How did you become a Bills fan, Katie?
I have to tell you, I grew up in Wisconsin as a Packers fan.
Ooh.
I know, trigger warning, but I married a Bills fan that really brought me into the Bills Mafia, and I discovered a few things. I discovered you guys have much better colors than green and gold, so that's like a real plus for me. And also, there's a really similar energy around Buffalo and the town and the way that everyone supports the football team. That feels very much like Green Bay to me. And so it was a very natural transition because I've lived in New York City for over 20 years, more, longer than I've lived in Wisconsin. And that is how I became part of the Bills family.
I love that. And you hear quite a few people kind of express that, hey, the Packers and the Bills, they have diehard fans and the stadium is set near neighborhood, near suburbs. You kind of have to drive in to get there. So it's a similar experience. And I think Bills fans should feel good about being put next to a fan base like the Packers. What are your hopes for the team this upcoming season? We know the season ended a little too short. We wanted them to push on further. But what do you hope out of this group next year?
I would say we need a good draft. We need a more cohesive offense. And I believe that Allen had a rough passing year because the former coordinator didn't run the right schemes.
Wow. Look at you. Come on in here. Be a part of the coaching staff, be a part of the scouting department. I mean, we can have our first Megababe founder that also, is going to be a wide receivers coach, running backs coach, whatever you want. We'll find a position for you here in Buffalo.
I would love a position in Buffalo. I want to tell you, I went to a game and I went on the field and I don't know if I've ever felt more alive. It was so magical and so special to be a part of it.
There is something about being down on the field and getting to look up at the stands, look around, that is just so magical. That place is amazing. I know they're building a stadium across the street, so we're going to miss all those memories in Highmark Stadium, the old Highmark Stadium soon to be, but I'm really excited to see what that new stadium looks like as well. And I know we'll have to get you in that new stadium when it gets revealed here in a few seasons. So Katie, you love to empower women and help them feel more confident in their own bodies. Where did this passion come from?
This passion came when I started helping plus size women get dressed on the internet. I started to hear from women who were not plus size saying, wow, I really want the confidence to show my arms off in a tank top like you do. And that really broke something open for me. I started to realize that women of all sizes really need this work, really need to accept themselves and stop feeling like the size in their genes is really what's going to dictate their happiness or when they can start their life. I'm not going to go on vacation until I lose the weight, that kind of mindset. And I realized that I had the gift to help people on that journey start to accept themselves and stop hating themselves all the time just because society has told them to.
That's so awesome. I feel like so many of us can look in the mirror and be like, I don't like this about myself. I don't like that about myself. I wish this, I wish that. And it's great that there's people like you that are easy to follow on Instagram and can get that boost of confidence from you that I think everybody needs, myself included, because of what society tells us we should look like, dress like, act like. Definitely not fair. And we should be able to break out of those molds. So thank you for helping women empower to do that. Now let's talk about Megababe. You're the founder of Megababe. You have some awesome products out there. Your deodorant is amazing. I use it all the time. Tell us about the brand and how you've seen that help women celebrate who they are.
So I took that same concept of like ridding people of shame and I applied it to a beauty product. And one thing that I always had was thigh chafe. And I was tired of using products that were made for men or athletes or just really embarrassing names that I didn't really want to repeat or pull out of my handbag. So I made a product called Thigh Rescue. Now, this is our number one selling SKU. We've sold over 1 million of them. And when I started this company, I heard from lots and lots of people that this was a niche problem that not many people had, thigh chafe. Listeners are, I mean, if I'm saying the word thigh chafe, I feel like you're hearing it and you're like, oh, that's me. Yeah. But what I'm trying to do is eliminate the feeling where you have to like be ashamed about it and just be like, yeah, I chafe. Pretty much everyone chafes because it's true in some form of on your body. And we applied that shame-free attitude towards all of our products, which is why we make things like a butt mask for butt acne, a boob sweat powder, all natural for boob sweat. And we actually just launched Mega Man. So that's big news. We launched Mega Man. We made a ball deo. We made an anti-friction stick, a regular deo, a powder. And again, all of them are non-toxic. So they're excellent swaps for what you have in your cabinet.
So cool. I love all of that. You have written books, you have a podcast, you have a huge presence on social media as well. You do far more than just Megababe and far more than just being an entrepreneur and author. You really cross over so many different channels and you're so accessible to those who want to learn more about how to be confident on the internet. But when it comes to Women's History Month, since you do so much, how do you celebrate that month?
Women's History Month is like my Super Bowl. It really is. This is a time where I get to constantly hype up other female founders, highlight other people's work. And I do that. I mean, every Wednesday I do something called Women on Wednesday. So I'm always talking about women entrepreneurs. But for me, it just feels like that conversation is everywhere this month. And that is so fun to see. It's like you turn on the TV, you're scrolling, whatever it is, it's a celebratory story about a woman. And I am here for that. I love March.
So cool. And final question for you, what's your hope for women and young girls as a body acceptance advocate?
I hope that in 10 years, we don't have conversations like this anymore and that we're just living in bodies and we're talking about things that are more important and we're talking about ways to empower ourselves beyond our body. I think for so long, the focus has been on the female appearance because that's a great way to keep us focused on not advancing in other areas of life. Once we realize that we can actually step out of that conversation and see where our real power is, I think that it's one of the most freeing things that you can do. And I say this, I don't mean that you stop caring what you look like. It's more that like you realize how much more there is to you than how people are perceiving you physically.
Katie, that's a great point. You can still be beautiful and you can still be a baller CEO. You can do both. You can do both, girls, ladies, women out there. Katie, thank you so much for spending the time to talk with us. Tell us about what Women's History Month means to you and more about Megababe. Go find it on the internet, guys.